Welcome, welcome. We are here. We are recording the season finale, episode 9.
Season finale.
We have a whole season in the books.
I know. I'm sad to see us go. I love this time of year, but I'm sad. I'm sad this is our last episode of the season. But not sad because we've been renewed for season 2.
Yeah, we ain't getting canceled over here. It's been an amazing season. We opened up talking to Quinn Pining, CTTA president, talking about the impact of COVID. We spoke to Justin Cruz at Wreckmaster. We've been all over the place.
Yeah, just, really fast. Let's give a quick shout out to all of our guests. Quinn Pining of CTTA, like you said, Justin Cruz of Wreckmaster, Alex Chopin of ASAP Towing, Melissa Gaglione of Safety for Her. Shout out to Angela Roper Barnett of 4 state associations and of everything, as Dennis likes to put it. But more importantly, I call her Queen Slow Down Move Over, but
yes,
she's just been the pioneer for that. So Angela, because she came on the show twice, Angela Roper Barnett. But just thank you so much for coming on the show. Chad Nitschke of Bunker Insurance, Andrea Hall, Director of Marketplace here at HONK, Shelly Hawkins, HONK Product Manager, Renee Jimenez.
Can't leave Renee out.
No, of course not. Renee, my man, thank you so much for coming on. Shelly and Renee were just a great episode. I love them.
I think that's my favorite so far.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, then we have to give a shout out to, of course, Stephen Rojas, our Senior Director of Product Management here. I honestly can't choose. I'm that person that's like, I can't choose a favorite episode because there's so many parts of them that I love in each one. But I will have to say, maybe I think a Slow Down Move Over might have been one of my favorite ones. Episode 7 with Angela. Angela Roper Barnett came back on and just talked about so much great information. And we had a chance to do a public service announcement. And that was one of my favorite parts of the year in general, of just putting together a public service announcement to help spread the word about slowing down, move over, and getting the public more aware of those move over laws.
I follow a lot of folks in this industry and surrounding this industry on social media, and that PSA just keeps going around. I see it every once in a while on people I don't even know them, and I see it on their feed. I see it on their timeline, and it's great to see that message is getting out there and getting used in the way that we expected it to. If you see our PSA for Slow Down, Move Over, like it, share it with your friends, your family, at your holiday dinner, bring it up, show it to show it to your drunk uncle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can find it. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on honkforhelp.com. You can find it on our socials. Do what you need to do, but if we can get one set of eyes, just one extra set of eyes, that could be the difference in saving a life. So definitely, man, it's been a phenomenal year. I mean, can we talk about COVID just for like 3.5 seconds and then stop talking about it?
Yeah, that's it. Let's leave COVID and all that nonsense in 2020. Let's leave all the bad things that happened in 2020 and let's talk about all the good things that happened.
But one good thing that came out of COVID for us was this partnership that we did with Spiffy.
Cool.
Yeah, right. And I was just like, I mean, even for me, I'm not in a tow truck often, but I'm definitely in my car often. And some of the products that they have is amazing. You guys definitely need to check it out. You can still check out Spiffy. Spiffy is the nation's leading mobile disinfection store.
We got some great partnerships going. We got Spiffy. We got our friends over at Bunker Insurance who have done some amazing things for the towing industry. They're looking to revolutionize the way insurance is written, the way policies are written. So reach out to our partners when we all work together and we come together to bring you these discounts. We're doing this to benefit our network because we love our network. We got some other stuff in a little bit that we're going to show them how much we love them today too.
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna be super excited. I mean, I wish I was a tour at this point so I could join in, but
I might get back in a truck after this one.
Oh man. Hey, send me a shot. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit later about HappyHONKdays. So just be on the lookout for that, listener. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, be sure to like and subscribe, download the episodes. You can catch up on not just what's happening today, but what we plan to do in the future, and then of course our past episodes. One of the things I wanted to drive home really fast, Dennis, is I think that we did such a great job this year of listening to our network. I think we do a great job every year of listening to our network, but this year specifically with some of our partnerships, like Spiffy, like Bunker, that for me was like such a huge win. I've talked to so many guys who one of the main expenses is just insurance. So to be able to partner with Bunker on that, I just was, amazed. And I am so excited for our network, to be able to keep their business running.
Yeah, it's been great to have this platform to be able to speak to our network. I know personally I miss being out on the road, getting to tow shows and seeing and speaking to our providers one-on-one.
Heavy sigh. I'll take
We're
a
right
shot
around
for that.
Yeah, we're right around the time of the year where we probably would have just been wrapping the Baltimore Tow Show. That's always a fun one. That's always a great experience. I think we actually are going to discuss that in a little while as well. We're going to discuss a great Baltimore Tow Show story.
Oh, yes. I think our war story for today won't be from you, but it'll be from our special guest. So I'm excited about that one too, because I've only heard it from a third party. I've never heard it directly from the source. So I'm really excited to actually hear the story.
I've heard it third, fourth, fifth, and sixth hand by now, but I really love to hear it from the actual source. So I'm looking forward to that conversation too.
Yeah, it's going to be so great.
Without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring on our special guest, our CEO and founder,
Mr. Corey Brundage.
The boss man himself. Corey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Great to be here.
Thanks for joining us. We're really looking forward to this conversation. Since we've been home, we really haven't had a chance to talk to you as much as we normally do. Corey's normally pops up around the office. He'll be just looking over your shoulder one day, and you won't even know he's there. He'll just walking around, starting conversations. Really a cool experience.
Awesome. Yeah, we're so happy to have you on the show, Corey. Before we get too deep into our discussion today, guys, like I mentioned, we have something special planned for you today. We are going to have, since this is our season finale, we definitely want to have something what we call HappyHONKdays, a promotional giveaway. So with the HappyHONKdays promotional giveaway, we're going to break down for you some prizes. There's a place for some of you to win up to $200.
Let's not give too much away. Let's make sure they listen first.
Oh yeah, we're gonna pepper some questions throughout the show. So of course you do have to listen to make sure that you hear the questions, and then you can respond and submit to win some of these prizes. So stay tuned because we are gonna just shoot some questions out there. So, but back to you. So Corey, again, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We're really excited to hear just so much about HONK, where we are, where we're headed in 2021. A lot of people don't know why HONK was started in the first place. So we definitely want to give them that background. And so I guess we should start there.
What a great place to start.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about HONK history, straight from the man himself?
Yeah, let's start with the story of HONK. Geez, it's been a while now, 7 or so years, I think, since we've started. I guess maybe to tell a little bit of the story of HONK, I should briefly give you a little bit of background on me. So again, guys, I'm Corey Brundage. I'm the founder and CEO of HONK here. I've been a serial entrepreneur for most of my life, and I've started a variety of different companies. Never worked in the towing industry before. But about 7 years ago, I was with my fiance at the time, now my wife, and we were actually here in Southern California, right near Culver City. And my wife had just started a new job and had shown up to the first day of work and had a somewhat stressful day. I think she wasn't feeling too well. And when she left to come home, her car wouldn't start. And so, what do you do in a situation like that? I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You can call AAA. You can call direct to towing companies near you. We tried everything in our scenario. We made a bunch of calls. We actually did talk to AAA. We looked up the warranty number in the back of our book. And we went through every sort of, solution we could think of. But we were incredibly disappointed because everyone we called didn't have any trucks available, or if we were calling, it was just such a hodgepodge. I could call 5 towing companies and get completely different rates and completely different ETAs. And in my case, none of them were what I was looking for. And so what we ended up finally doing was calling the number in the back of the owner's manual in the car. Probably where that call went. And we sat in this parking garage. We were told that someone would come quickly. The service provider called me and said, "Hey, I was just in your area, and I just received this call, but now I'm way up in North Hollywood and it's going to take me a couple of hours to get down there. You mind calling back and seeing if you can get someone else, someone closer? And believe it or not, I thought, sure, why not? Of course, I don't want to wait, and it sounds inconvenient for you. Let me go ahead and do that. But what ended up actually happening in our case was it took a full 2 days before we actually got someone to come out. I know. And I always tell people, whether I'm talking to a carrier or to investors out there that, this is not a typical situation, of course.
Yeah.
Things went wrong there. Somebody dropped the ball. But, when you put someone through a really, really horrible experience like that, you don't always know who that person is and and what idea they might have to to follow up on that, and so obviously I thought, okay, not the tower's fault here, but whoever was the intermediary here setting up this tow, they did a terrible job. And I started thinking, I want to learn more about this space. And for several months, I traveled all around Southern California, meeting with service providers and learning firsthand who they like and who they don't like and who pays what, and all of the issues and all of the problems that they've had. And it just started to dawn on me very quickly that what was once in many ways just a glorious and selfless profession here in America that was revered at the same level as police and fire workers. These great people out there have in some ways been disenfranchised by the industry and by these intermediaries to the extent that they're not getting paid what they should get paid. And the more I started talking to people, the more I learned just how broken the industry was, and something needed to be done about it. And that was the genesis moment for HONK.
Wow. It's like you were scarred for life, but in a completely great way.
I will tell you, I think it was 18 months later, I was sitting in a meeting with all of the right people at that auto manufacturer, talking to them about their problems and pitching them on the HONK solution, which was a pretty wild ride. You can imagine going from, being upset that you got to be somewhere and you can't get there to suddenly, with not having a lot of experience in this space, sitting down with the people who caused that problem and trying to tell them how to fix it. It was just an exciting journey, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you find yourself in this terrible predicament, goes on for 2 days. You find yourself at the table with the people that actually were the ones that effectively caused your problem. Tell me the pitch. What did you sell them on? What was your vision for this world that you wanted to improve?
Yes. Well, I think one of the most important things to know about HONK is we are not trying to be the motor club. It has never been our interest to use motor club tactics or be a motor club. We have a very different design in our minds, a very different vision for what the future of this industry should be. And one of the biggest problems that I talk about with, for example, insurance carriers or auto manufacturers is that the traditional motor club models are largely based on aggregating as much tow service demand or roadside service demand as they can, and then they distribute that as narrowly as they possibly can. They'll say it's to maintain consistency and quality, but in fact, it's all about leverage mostly, and it's all about reducing the overhead of having to deal with more people in the towing industry. At least that's the way I see it, and that is not HONK. That is the exact opposite of HONK. We are not out there trying to aggregate as much towing volume as possible and send it and distribute it as narrowly as possible. Far cry from that. We like to think that HONK is more of a meritocracy, and I'll talk more about that, I think, during this podcast. We're not perfect and we're not where we want to be entirely yet, but it is our focus to really not put ourselves in the center of this world. You're aggregating volume and distributing narrowly. In that sense, you're almost kind of putting the service provider or the service provider's service location in the center of the universe. You're in Bob's territory, so Bob is going to be the one that helps you. We know very clearly today that that is not the most efficient model. The most efficient model is to think of the motorist first. Where is that motorist and how can we get them help as fast as possible? And when we can get the motorist help very, very quickly, it also means that the service providers are getting there very, very quickly. which means that they're able to do more jobs per hour with a similar cost structure, which is, a big part of the plan here. But if you want to hear a little bit more on the, I think, vision side, I would say, when I close my eyes and I think of what the towing industry is going to look like down the road, the way I see it, what I want to see in short is a world where breakdowns are nothing more than a bump in the road. We at HONK take, I think, a different approach to towing. I know we're all car geeks. We all love to think about automotive and physics and recoveries. But at the end of the day, we take a very people-oriented approach to towing. I'm sure you do as well, all of our best service providers out there. But we intimately understand, especially coming from my experience, that when your car breaks down, you break down, your day breaks down, your plans break down. And so what we do is focus on technology. That's our kind of unique perspective to alleviate all of the anxiety and the stress of the situation for the motorist and get them back on the road much faster and much more efficiently. So again, when I close my eyes and I look to the future, I want to see a world where 15 to 30 minutes is the standard motorist, wait time expectation nationwide, not 45 to 60 plus. When they need to pick up their kids or they have to make it to a job interview. Already today, the sub 15-minute ETA category that HONK delivers is multiples more than anyone else in this industry is currently delivering. We absolutely get there faster, and we have a much, much higher number of services that fall into that 0 to 15 or 0 to 30 minute bucket. As I said before, kind of, not so coincidentally, creating that amazing experience for the customer is creating that exact same future where you, as a service provider, are going to be able to get into your truck and do 20 services, in your standard day instead of 8 to 10, and where you can spend more time solving problems and actually helping people and thus earning more income, less deadhead, less driving around. And I'll be very transparent with you. We're not there yet, but that is our vision. And that is the way we built our technology. And as we continue to scale and win these new accounts, you can rest assured that we're going to achieve this vision together. HONK and you, our service provider.
Yeah, I think one of the things that people in this industry tend to forget sometimes is that we are a service first industry. The end user, the customer, the motorist on the side of the road is the person that we need to service. They are the person that we need to satisfy all the time. Like Yvonne. Yvonne's been on the side of the road before. She knows what it's like.
There?
Yep, we're
going to go there, Dennis. You want to take it there, Dennis? Because I'm pretty sure the last time we did this, you were the one on the side of the road.
I have also been a stranded motorist on the side of the road, and it is a very powerless feeling to not know what to do until you have that resource in front of you that says, oh, look, my truck's 15 minutes away. I can see exactly where he is on the map. I can look at the traffic. I can see how far away he is. And some of that power comes back to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And Corey, I think you've done such a great job of really painting the reality of your vision for HONK and just the reality of what HONK is today to so many people. And I was speaking to one of our partners a few days ago, and, one of the questions I asked, just point blank, we want to know what is it about HONK that you love? And one of the first things he said was, I believe HONK is the future. I believe HONK is going to do something extraordinary. And I was blown away because I was so excited to hear that, your vision is actually, it's spreading. I do believe that we are set apart, and a lot of our partners are understanding that more and more on the daily basis. And I think a lot of our clients and some of our, insurance partners that we work with. So yeah, one of the questions I had for you as well is because we've done such a great job with awesome customer service. It's so important to our insurance carrier clients. This service is an extension of their brand. And so I think that we've bridged the gap there in a wonderful way. For you, Corey, what was that process like, just getting to that point of saying we can offer this to you as far as customer experience goes?
Absolutely. That's just been a journey for us as a company as well. I think back to an early meeting we had with a very large insurance carrier. We showed up at their offices, sat down. This was probably in our first couple of years, and we started talking about all the great things that our platform does, and how we arrive faster, and we are very transparent. We remove all of that anxiety. We have the advantage of having tracking in the trucks, which to us, makes us feel like we're riding right along with you on that job. And what can we do with that in the future to help all of us, become more efficient and drive more value? And I remember very specifically this very senior person at this insurance company looking at me and saying, "So you arrive faster? Who cares? So what?
Wow.
Like, why? Why does that matter? I don't like. So what? And that was a bit of a shock because we weren't totally prepared for that. We thought, well, geez, isn't it obvious? This is so great. It took us a few more years, I think, to really understand the value that we've created in the space, us and you, our service providers, working together in this new way. To the extent that when we talk to carriers and others now, it's almost funny that sometimes they don't believe the things that we share with them. Like I said earlier, we have some of the absolute fastest arrival times, but it's not just that. It's that transparency. It is knowing who's coming to get you, when they're going to arrive, and a variety of other things that we do to really elevate that customer experience and put that person at peace. And what we see is just an insane Net Promoter Score across all of our accounts, with an incredibly high survey response rate. Most of our accounts are in the high 80s, almost 90, with a 23% survey response rate, which is shocking when you think about the value that actually creates for a carrier or for a client. And now, having been in the business 7 years, we can absolutely point to those results in terms of retention and loyalty and renewals and all the things that insurance companies care about. This point about carriers or some of these folks not even believing these scores is incredibly interesting. It puts a lot of the focus for us on getting into pilots and working with these carriers. I think it's safe to say that we have actually, our competition probably knows this. We've never been in a competitive pilot with any of the traditional companies out there and lost. Not once.
Those are
Something
fighting
like that.
words.
Yeah. That's a fighting word.
Something like that.
But you know what? So back in episode 3, we had a guest on, Alex Chopin, who's the owner of ASAP Towing. And he talked about an experience that he and his drivers pulled over to save a woman who was obviously in some distress. And he ended up performing CPR on her. And to me, when you have experiences like that, where your drivers, and I say your drivers, but operators, our partners, when our partners take the next level to care for the motorists and for customers, to me, that speaks volumes, and it translates into that Net Promoter Score that you're talking about. It translates into customers having extreme satisfaction simply because our partners are who they are. And not even just to the customer, but to one another. He talked a little bit about another experience where, if he sees another operator doing a job that's not even from his company, he'll pull over just to make sure that they have someone there blocking their back as they get that car off the side of the road. So I think it's a huge testament to that, to what you're saying, Corey, that our partners are contributing to that. And obviously, if you're listening, we are so grateful for you and our partner network because of the work that you all do, just going above and beyond to take care of all of our customers.
And I don't really think that the average consumer, the average motorist, even the average person just doesn't realize the dedication and time and sacrifices that the hardworking folks in this industry really take every day. Like the risks that are out there. We talk about the risk to safety and life and limb all the time. We talk about the rising costs of doing business, but these folks get up every day, put on their pants one leg at a time, and go to work to help people. That's what they do. That's who they are.
Dennis, you're absolutely right. And I thought that was an incredible episode, just hearing the lengths that ASAP Towing goes to, both for their own customers, but even for the industry itself. I think, when we talked a little bit about vision, but one of the things that I think is important for us to making this vision a reality comes down to exactly what you're talking about right here. And that's, it's almost like a set of shared values. I was talking to Matt Bajur, our Chief Operating Officer, the other day about this. For those of you out there in the towing network, Matt is probably managing the teams that involve the people that you're talking to most of the time. So if you want his personal phone number or address, please tweet us at no.
Hey, don't talk about my boss like
that. But we were having this discussion the other day about some of these kind of, shared values or the things that we think that we do differently or that we're striving to do differently. And there were so many things that came up that I thought were interesting, whether it's how we try to answer the phone in under 20 seconds whenever you're on an active job and we're there to support you, or how much we aim to pay as quickly as we can, and we're pretty much as I understand it, the fastest in the industry now with an average of a 1 hour turnaround time. Of course, how we always aim to provide actionable and accurate information and support you guys out there in the field, both up front and within the service. And we're always looking to improve our driver app and find new ways to do that for you. But we believe that we owe you the absolute highest level of respect for the job that you do every day. And, as I've said before, we're not perfect, but we are continually working to improve this and committed to not falling into that motor club trap. We are trying to set up a new world where the four constituents that we see in this platform, being the motorist on the side of the road, the service provider, the client that may be originating that service, and us as the fourth party honk, that we consider all four parties in an equitable way, and that the decisions we make are aligned to create that vision that will free all of us from the way that this industry is lacking today.
So, Corey, I kind of want to pivot a little bit because there's some things I want to talk about. The fact that you said you love that episode 3. So you're listening to the podcast, huh? So
I am. I love the podcast. You guys think you have the special guest here, but I feel like I'm being interviewed by celebrities.
Yvonne, that's one confirmed listener. That's one
confirmed. To the man who calls himself Mr. Worldwide. Listen, we found out we have listeners internationally, and it was so cool. And Dennis immediately had the best nickname for himself. I was like, man, I want to be as cool as Dennis one day. He's like, yes, I'm Mr. Worldwide with
international
the cigar. Yes, that's right, Mr. International.
But did you come up with a nickname?
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
I got it. It has to be cooler. It has to have some je ne sais quoi, some charisma to it. I couldn't be as fast as Dennis with it, but when I do, I'll let you guys know. It'll probably make an appearance in season 2. But what did you think of the first podcast season in general?
Oh my God, it was great. I think this was, sort of an experimental thing for us to try to put ourselves out there and connect with the industry and share a little bit about what we think about, create a space where we can bring in other great minds from the towing industry. And I just think you guys have done a really phenomenal job. I know the audience out there doesn't necessarily care, and that only means something to you, but I hope that all the listeners out there have really enjoyed not just getting to know Yvonne and Dennis, who are awesome people here at HONK, but also just getting to hear from so many great people in the industry, whether it's ASAP Towing or Safety for Her or Wreckmaster or Bunker. I just think you guys have done a great job.
Thank you. And then, honestly, personally, I don't know. I guess I speak for Yvonne here as well, but I'm really grateful for this opportunity to have my voice heard within this industry and have my voice heard within the company, as well as bringing that experience and my life experience as a provider to this company has really been, it's been an experience in the fact that I can actually talk about my experiences and where I come from and the industry that I love and hold dear to my heart, and get to actually shape the vision for the future of how we're going to make this industry better.
Love it.
Oh man. Yeah, no, absolutely. Same here.
So guys, I mean, just, going back to what we were talking about a minute ago with some of the values and shared values, the more I think about it, I'm wondering if people out there that heard that, maybe it makes them ask themselves, how can I become one of those service providers that, earns an outsized share of HONK's volume? And, that's a great question, and we hear it a lot. And it really does have to do with some of these values and also, of course, with performance. But if you want the goods, here it is. Some of these are obvious, but maybe I'll give you a gem here. In short, what we want you guys out there to do for us is utilize our driver app, stay true to your ETA commitments, and perform your services with the highest level of professionalism. Now, guess what? Everybody asks you to do that, right? So not necessarily a huge ask on our part, I would think. But in addition to that service quality and performance, here's a little hint for you. Our systems are seeking consistency in action and availability within our service provider base. So in other words, the more services that you take and the better you perform on those services, the more likely you are going to be fed the next job in line. That's a big part of how our algorithm works. We're growing by leaps and bounds at the moment. And so I want to put this out there so that those of you who are committed to this partnership are going to take this ride and come along with us. And to that end, in this moment, I'll take the opportunity as well to just express my appreciation to all of you out here who have already sort of cracked our secret code. Not so secret anymore.
There you have it. You want more HONK jobs? He just gave you the secret sauce. The 11 herbs and spices, the secret recipe, it's all there.
It's all in there.
Sounds delicious.
It does. I'm getting kind of hungry.
Me too.
Man, well, I think before we take a lunch break, I think it's time for me to ask one of our trivia questions. That way our listeners can still win some other additional prizes. So the first question I'll ask is, you guys ready?
Let's do it.
What service did Dennis have to order from the HONK app for himself?
That's where we're going.
He was stranded on the set.
That's where we're going. That's where we're starting. Wow.
Of course, wow. We had to take it there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's question number one.
That's question number one. Okay, so I'm going to ask a second question. Trivia question number 2. What is the make of Yvonne's car? All you have to do is listen to one episode. You've heard us talk about Yvonne's car. She needs service like every 2 weeks. It's fine.
Shade. He's just mad, you guys, because he had to get that. Oh, I almost gave the answer away.
Oh.
Sorry. Just seeing if you're listening.
All right. So, 2 trivia questions in the books.
Yes. Make sure you guys are listening, you're subscribing, and you follow us on our socials so you guys have access to get some of those over 20 prizes. So make sure you get in there and hop on that.
The official URL is www.joinhonk.com/HappyHONKdays. That's spelled out just the way it sounds. HappyHONKdays. Corey, thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us the stuff to give away, because I heard you put it on your personal card. Is that correct?
Of course.
As you should. No, wait. Before we let Corey go, I have a question for him. I heard a story once, right? That when you were first getting it, when you're, the HONK is maybe 1 or 2 years old, and you went to a tow show, and you had some information, or you heard some information for some gentlemen. So I kind of wanted to hear that story because it was secondhand information, but I thought it was so great to hear. And so I thought I'd hear it from you first. You know what story I'm talking about?
This story also involves your personal credit card, Corey.
It does. That's true. It does. Yeah. Geez, that was the Baltimore Tow Show. I think it must have been 2015 or 2016. We had a good kind of first day at the show, mostly set up and all that. And I think I went back to the hotel, which was right there at the convention center, and found the local watering hole, which, of course, everyone knows is where the real action at the tow show takes place anyway. And
I learned that one tow show. I really found that out. Just FYI.
They call them
nothing better than the tow shows, man. Like pork on the barbecue, cigars, whiskey tasting. I mean, they go all out.
The dance. It's so fun. So fun.
They're really drinking shows with towing problems.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, anyhow, I was sitting there. I was probably one beer in and just, catching up on my phone with email and things. And I hear there are two gentlemen sitting to my right having a conversation, about their business. And, I hear some of those keywords. I can tell they're talking about towing and are probably here for the show. But the interesting part was their conversation veered toward how absolutely annoying motor clubs are. And how, they get these calls. This company did not work with motor clubs. Okay. They had no interest in it. They're perfectly happy being, whatever it was on the rotation or doing their direct cash calls, whatever it was, they were happy. But still, they would get these, overflow calls from motor clubs that would blow up their phones and drive them nuts. And so, understandably, they took the position of, well, if I get these calls, I'm just going to quote the highest price I can, and they were sort of laughing and having a good time talking about how they pulled one over on this job or that job, and I thought it was great until I think I heard them mention Honk.
You're like, oh, this is hilarious. Wait a minute, that's my company.
Then I'll admit I was actively listening, totally eavesdropping, hearing that they were using this technique with us as well, where they were not a partner of ours, and if they received a hey, we need some help call, they would they would make an aggressive ask. And again, they were talking so much about how it was just because of how absolutely annoying it was that these people are bothering them and tying up their lines when they obviously don't want a working relationship with that company. And so, of course, at this point, I had to introduce myself. Turned to the side, introduced myself, said who I was, said what my role was. Things got pretty awkward for a second. I think.
I just would love to be there, to be a fly on the wall for this whole experience.
There was a moment of shock and unnecessary to them, by the way, that they backpedaled a little or tried to apologize if they offended me. Totally unnecessary. I was right there with them the whole time. But what was important for me in that moment was to explain to them, guys, that's not us. We're not that company. You don't have to do that. If you literally just go to our website and download the app, you'll never get those annoying calls again. The point was just create an account, stop the annoying calls, and that's all there is to it. Which blew them away, actually, and they became HONK partners.
Yeah.
I will say that you definitely had an impression on them, because I've heard this story third and fourth and fifth hand multiple times over the years. Really? Absolutely.
Why am I never there for this, Dennis?
Because you're usually at the booth while the rest of us are, drinking.
I got to get out more. Well, I'd love to, it'd be cool to follow up with those guys and see where they are now, to kind of get like a, where are they now story. That'd be cool.
So, Corey, what have we learned as a company? What were some of the assumptions you had when first starting out, and what did you learn that the world is today?
Oh, boy. Where do we start on that one? I think if you haven't heard already through some of this, we're very humble in the sense that, we do know that we're still learning here. There's been a long-running joke that we've used here at HONK, and it's funny. We use this when we go into a meeting. Like, imagine walking in and talking to a top 5 insurance company, and they've been working with the same vendor for 25, 30, 40 years, and your opening line is, well, here's the team from HONK. We have a combined 0 years experience in roadside assistance, which is basically where we started. And we would literally say that in the meetings to just to get a good laugh, to break the ice. We've just come so far. Obviously, that's not the case anymore today. But there really, obviously there was a time when HONK was just me sitting in my home office and looking at what does this industry really need, and what do people like. And I mean, just to share a couple of fun old inside things. When I first was testing the market to understand what kind of solution were consumers looking for, that would change the roadside experience for them. I tried a whole bunch of things. I tried an Uber-like model, which is, somewhat similar to the way we operate today. I had a lending tree kind of model where, when towers compete, you win. I had a I had a kayak or like Priceline model where you could compare quality ratings and prices in one location, and select that direct tower that you wanted to go with. I tested every single one of these ideas with real customers on the side of the road and watched them go through these experiences, and I learned, of course, that the approach that is HONK today is the one that they wanted. But to come from that background and this DNA, a group of people that in the beginning had 0 years experience in roadside, but a lot of experience in technology, the internet, all these kinds of things, our perspective has changed a lot over the years. I think a lot of the sort of OG folks here were taught, for example, in the early days to observe behaviors, especially through technology, kind of as I described, watching people interact with these various services, in the real world. But we held firm to the belief in the early days that designing really carefully controlled experiments and watching what real people will really do in unassuming situations is far, far more valuable than asking them what they think or what they're going to do in a hypothetical situation. So those kind of techniques are priceless when you're a little tech startup and you're trying to reimagine or completely reinvent the concept of a motor club in a sort of do no evil way that considers, again, the needs of all of those four constituents on the platform in an equitable way: motorist, SP, client, HONK. So in many ways, these early advantages, they're just not enough anymore as you continue to grow. And it's been the rare sort of industry person even that has been able to acclimate to our unique culture and tech-oriented DNA. Right, Dennis?
Oh, is that me? No,
yeah, go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, we are bringing technology to an industry that is lacking. We are unfortunately, we're an industry that is slow to adapt to changes, and we are making very, very rapid changes. So it can be scary sometimes.
Absolutely. And I have a lot of appreciation, for you guys and for everybody in the company, because, I think we've taken HONK from back then. Back then we were like, Alfred in like deep down in the cave, building high tech tools for Batman, and now it's like, well, we're kind of becoming the Bat. We're out there. We're learning. We're working with others. We're really building a reputation in this space, and not only as a kind of service coordinator, but really as or just like a vendor out there with our clients, but really as a high technology partner. And that's really, I think, the way we've continually been positioned now over the last 3 to 5 years. And this podcast is even a testament to that. I don't know if I should admit this here or not, but I still learn things just listening to you guys and the guests that you're bringing onto this show.
Oh man, that's great. That's what we want to hear. It's like we're all growing and learning together. I remember, Corey, when I started, I was on the operations team overnight. And, so I went from speaking to providers and our partners and hearing from them, even to understanding to where I am now, to be on this podcast and being able to meet them in person, and hopefully one day going back to a tow show and connecting with them. And so HONK has just made some immense changes within the last several years, just as I've been a part of the team. So exciting to see how that's changed. Really fast, give us an overview of 2020. I mean, COVID came and kind of knocked us all out for a hot second. And, we all had to take a step back and really reevaluate and do some adapting. What was your overview of 2020 at HONK?
Absolutely. You said really fast. So here's my really fast answer. We dipped, we recovered, we adapted, we grew, we beat it.
Yes.
This was something that obviously like really affected our industry. I'm sure affected all of you listening at home or on the road. I hope we're coming to the end of this. We did see a pretty significant drop in demand back in March. Right about the time the stock market crashed and fear was at its highest is when everybody, ran home and stopped driving. But it was a pretty rapid recovery from there too. What I'm generally hearing out there, I don't know what you're seeing out on the road with the companies that you work with, but what we're typically hearing out there is about a 10, 15, maybe 20% reduction in volume, even now today, that things have fully recovered. We here at HONK have been hard at work making sure that you out in the field don't feel any of that reduction by focusing on and actually executing well on pretty significant growth this year. We're already back to our pre-COVID levels and beyond. And I think, 2021 is going to be a very, very exciting year for us.
So what is your vision for 2021, Corey? What do you think is the future of HONK and beyond?
Yeah, so let me tease a little because I don't know that I can share it all, of course, but I do think in 2021 you're going to see a renewed focus from HONK on improving our service provider network. We're intending to make a fairly significant investment in our network next year. I really can't stress enough how fundamentally committed we are to our vision and, making that dream a reality for both motorists and service providers and creating a system where we're all going to win together. And, to that end, I can't tell you exactly what to keep an eye out for just yet. But if you see us roll out a new policy here or there, or if you see us ask you to do something differently in the app, participate. Work with us, even if you're not sure why sometimes. A lot of the stuff we're doing, when we roll something out is not necessarily a permanent change. We're testing things. We're learning. We're trying. And so things will kind of come and go because we're doing that. But all of those efforts are to further accelerate and achieve this vision that we need. And so we need your help to do that. In terms of the broader picture in the industry, it's an incredibly exciting time out there right now in a variety of ways. I think we can all expect to see some changes coming in the next few years as various shifts occur in the industry, technological, economical.
We're an industry that looked at mechanical wreckers and said, that works. We're going to keep using that. And then somebody decided to put hydraulics to it and make life a little bit easier. That took some time to be adopted. Nobody's gone back since. So there are technological adaptations to this industry that happen and are adopted by the right people and are adopted by the people that see the future of the industry. And we're here to tell you that we are looking for that future of the industry. We are looking towards that better world for you, for the motorist, for the insurance carrier, the fleet client, everybody involved in the pie, everybody involved in that scenario that Corey just described. We are trying to make that world better.
Think about this. Car manufacturers are becoming fleet operators today. Car manufacturers are becoming insurance companies today. Insurance companies are becoming data companies today. And I'm talking about, top 3, top 5 big brand names out there. Things are rapidly changing. And on top of all that, your car drives itself. That's just cool.
That's going to create its own slew of problems to come, but we'll be here for that too.
Yep. And we're still here because of you, our HONK partners.
So let's get into this giveaway stuff, Corey. What are you giving away? We're giving away cash. We're giving away prizes. We got a whole bunch of stuff here, right?
Yeah. And I think it's time for a few more questions too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. All right. I'll hit you guys with a question, and then we'll let Corey get into some of those prizes. So we had a special guest join the show twice now. And what is the organization she is the executive director for?
Ooh, that's a great question. We speak about her status and who she. Did I give it away that we said her, she? Oh,
no, I said it first. You're good.
Oh, okay. No problem. She has already become one of our favorite guests. So,
and then there's one more. I'll ask one more question. In episode 3, what type of medical certification does Alex include in his operator's training? Hint: most lifeguards receive the same certification. I feel like I just gave it away with lifeguards, but I'm being generous because we're so grateful for you guys.
HappyHONKdays.
Happy Honk Day.
Happy
One
Honk Days.
more
Now,
trivia
that
question.
was question number 3 and question number 4. So there's one more question for you guys.
One more question is, what service did I promise to teach Yvonne to learn how to do by herself by the end of the season, which we're going to do this week?
And where's the video, Yvonne?
You know, it's coming. It is coming. Yeah. We're going to press Dennis on this one.
We're going to make it happen.
We got to make it happen. But can we do it on your car though?
Yeah, okay.
So Corey, tell
yours
us.
has been through the ringer a few too many times.
Hey, but she's fine. Okay, she's doing great and she's doing wonderful. And I'm going to continue to drive her until the wheels fall off, which hopefully is not next week.
Guys, this has been really excellent, and I've really appreciated the opportunity to come on here and get to talk with the service providers out there in the field. Wish it could be bi-directional, but at least I can get a word out there for everybody. I know this hasn't been the easiest year for all of us in many ways, and I just really want to express my most sincere thanks to each and every single one of you out there listening right now. It's been a weird year. It hasn't been easy for many, but as I've heard Yvonne and Dennis say many times, you really are the backbone of what we do here, and we want to show our appreciation with this Happy Honk Days promotion. I'll hand it off here to Dennis and Yvonne to tell you a little bit more about it, but we're excited about it. Something fun for the holidays, and I hope you will be too.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Corey. Thank you for coming on the show. We are so grateful to have you on, and just to prepare our listeners for 2021. And Dennis, let's hop into this promotional giveaway. I'm excited to give out some money.
Yes, I have Corey's credit card, and I'm going to spend it all right now.
All of it.
So our first giveaway involves our provider submitting a video, and that prize is a cash prize plus a survivor fund donation in your name.
And he says cash prize. He means $200 and a cash prize to the survivor fund.
Yes. So first prize winner wins $200 and a $50 donation to the survivor fund. The rules are you have to submit a minimum 1-minute video telling us why you love Honk, how you use the HONK app in your business, and what your favorite episode is from season 1.
The deadline is on the 31st of this month, so make sure you guys submit that. And there isn't just one first prize winner guide. There's a second prize and a third prize. And more information, of course, on our website. We'll share that with you a little bit later, but really looking forward to some of these videos.
Next giveaway we have 2 first prize winners that will get $100, and then we got 4 second prize winners that are going to get $50. You're going to submit a photo and enter to win. The rules for this contest are you're going to post a photo of you or your crew on your social media holding up a sign that says #HappyHONKdays. You have to follow the official @HonkForHelp account and tag the account on the post.
Yep, and the same deadline goes for this one as well, guys. So third prize is, of course, we're playing trivia. So as we go through this episode, make sure you tune in. We're going to shout out a few questions for you guys. Our top winner will receive a $50 gift card and a high-visibility Class 3 safety vest. So I just want to give it up for that because I think that's so cool. I'm really excited for those vests. Have you seen the vests yet, Dennis?
I have. They look awesome. I kind of want one myself.
I knew you would. So there's a top winner for that. Second place winners will also receive high visibility Class 3 safety vests. There's 2 of those. And then 5 winners will also receive a HONK hat. And
those are the trivia questions that Yvonne and I peppered throughout this episode. So you have to listen to the whole episode, find the questions, listen to our previous episodes, find the answers, and get them over to us.
Yep. And make sure you submit your answers using the link supported on our website. So we'll make sure we have that tagged for you guys. And of course, all ties for the top winner are going to be entered into a random selection drawing. Of course, deadline for that is also December 31st.
The next giveaway is really cool. If you've never been a HONK partner before, if you're curious about what we do, who we are, how we work, you can sign up for an absolutely free account to become a HONK partner. You're going to go to joinhonk.com/HappyHONKdays, sign up to become a HONK partner, and 3 random winners will be selected to receive a $100 gift card.
$100
just for signing
curiosity.
Up.
Yeah,
$100 and you're going to get some work.
And not to mention, it's a free background check, so you can take that with you.
Yes.
We're just giving away prizes left and right, and just
Giving
the
away all
giving
sorts of
keeps on
stuff.
giving. So our last prize is if you share any episode from season 1 of Get Hooked Podcast on your socials, you get a chance to win $50. So that's 4 prize winners will receive $50. 4 prize winners will also receive a HONK hat. So be on the lookout. Share the episode that is your favorite, or just any episode of the Get Hooked Podcast on your socials. Make sure you follow at HONK for Help on the post and tag us. And of course, that deadline as well is December 31st.
Again, there's rules, there's regulations. All the official contest regs can be found at www.joinhonk.com/HappyHONKdays. You can enter the contest from there. You can read up on the details. But we're giving away money. We're giving away hats. We're giving away vests. We're giving away donations to the Survivor Fund. Heck, if you email me right now, I may even give you Corey's credit card number.
Listen, we're giving it all away, okay? So take advantage of it.
I'm giving away lessons to Yvonne on how to change a tire this week.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to expect a bottle of wine with that, just simply because it took so long to get here.
Hey, I got Corey's credit card. Don't worry about it.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us once again for our season finale of Get Hooked Podcast. We couldn't have done this without you, our listeners, and we're so grateful to all of our guests that came on the show, and to Corey for just coming on today and sharing the future for HONK. And I hope you guys have a great holiday season, and we'll catch you in the next year.
Happy HONK days, happy holidays, and don't forget to
get
hooked. But we still haven't got that down.
We haven't. Maybe season 2.